If you use the N word repeatedly, you are a racist, then, are you?
Embrace that. If that means forwarding, helping white people achieve freedom of speech, real freedom of speech.
Okay, let's be real. Hollywood loves a perfect image, but behind the shiny awards and scripted interviews, some of your favorite stars have major skeletons in their closets. Drunk scandals, racist rants. Yeah, it's about to get messy. Are you ready for the truth to be exposed? Buckle up. So first up is Mel Gibson. Remember when his career basically imploded after the 2006 DUI arrest? When the cops pulled him over, he went on this crazy anti-Semitic rant, asking the officer if he was Jewish and saying that Jews are responsible for all the wars in the world. Yikes! Gibson later admitted, "I was loaded and angry and arrested." But guys, that wasn't even his only problematic moment. Back in 1991, he gave this interview to El País where he made some seriously homophobic comments. He said he would never be mistaken for gay because of how he looks and moves. And when the interviewer mentioned that Gibson's rear end might appeal to gay men, Gibson pointed to his rear and said, "This is only for taking a S-word." Then, in 2010, recordings leaked to him going off on his girlfriend, Oksana Grigorgieva. He used the N-word and told her that if she got raped by a pack of N-words, she would be to blame. In the same recordings, he called his housekeepers. Like seriously, what is wrong with this guy?
I don't work around in tight clothes. I stay at home for most of the time.
Public and it's a embarrassment to me. You look like a on heat. And if you get raped by a pack, it's your fault. All right?
Next up is American film icon John Wayne. This cowboy was known for drinking heavily, both on and off set. His alcohol consumption was legendary in Hollywood. Co-stars would talk about how he could drink these massive amounts of spirits while filming. Director John Ford would often have to work around Wayne's hangovers during shoots. But what's less talked about was Wayne's straight-up racist worldview. In this infamous 1971 Playboy interview, Wayne literally said, "I believe in white supremacy until the blacks are educated to a point of responsibility." In the same interview, he went on saying, "We can't all of a sudden get down on our knees and turn everything over to the leadership of the blacks." Wayne also had some pretty awful things to say about Native Americans, claiming he didn't feel guilty about their treatment because there were great numbers of people who needed new land, and the Indians were selfishly trying to keep it for themselves. Just wow.
Isn't a thing where the rest of the country should feel terribly guilty about anything because they have had a better life here and their fathers and mothers than they would have had any place else.
Moving on to former child star Shia LaBeouf, who's openly talked about his struggles with alcoholism leading to multiple arrests. During a 2017 arrest in Savannah, Georgia, police body cam footage caught him going on this racist tirade against a black officer. He told the officer he was going to hell because of his skin color, adding, "You know how many times I've been arrested? You know how many times? 6 times. And every time you got a black officer, I got problems." In that same incident, he told a white officer that the black officer was doing this S-word for his country, mockingly applauding and making more racist comments. The footage shows LaFont continuing his racist rant at the police station, telling officers they were fighting for mediocrity, and again targeting the black officer with racial insults. In another incident from 2015, LaFont was caught on video during another drunken episode using racial slurs and threatening his then-girlfriend, Mia Goth. He later apologized, saying he was deeply ashamed and had no excuse for my actions. Too little, too late, my dude. Number 4. Remember Kramer from Seinfeld? Well, Michael Richards, basically destroyed his career after that infamous 2006 incident at the Laugh Factory. When some audience members heckled him during his stand-up routine, Richards completely lost it and went on this horrific racist rant against black audience members, repeatedly using the N-word and saying, 50 years ago, we'd have you upside down with an effing fork up your ass. He kept going, shouting, you can talk, you're brave now, mother effer. Throw his ass out. He's a N-word, he's a N-word, he's a N-word. The whole thing was caught on video and spread like wildfire online, shocking pretty much everyone. What a lot of people don't know is that Richards had previously made anti-Semitic comments during another stand-up show at the Improv in Washington, D.C., where he reportedly went on a rant about the Jews killing Jesus. His career never really recovered after these incidences.
I'm very, very sorry to the African American community for the upset.
Number 5. Charlie Sheen. His public meltdown in 2011 was wild for so many reasons, including some seriously racist comments. During his battle with alcohol and substance abuse, Sheen made headlines for using anti-Semitic slurs against 2.5 Men creator Chuck Lorre, repeatedly calling him Chaim Levine in this really nasty way that was clearly meant to mock Lorre's Jewish heritage. And that wasn't his first racist incident either. In 2008, voicemails leaked of Sheen using the N-word during an argument with his then-wife Denise Richards. In the recordings, you can hear Sheen using the racial slur multiple times in this angry tirade. Richards said in divorce papers that this kind of language was pretty common during Sheen's drunken outbursts. Then in 2015, after getting kicked out of a bar for being too drunk, Sheen reportedly went on another racist rant against the bartender, using homophobic slurs and racist language. #not winning.
Charlie Sheen ranted a twisted racist message to President Obama on Twitter. He said, Barry Satara, Kenya, you won't attend a soldier's funeral, you cross the street that you killed, yet you have time for brackets? Sad.
Number 6. Alec Baldwin, who has struggled with alcoholism throughout his career. He got sober in the early 1980s and talked about his struggles in his 2017 memoir, Nevertheless. But over the years, Baldwin has been recorded using homophobic and racial slurs during angry outbursts, often when people questioned if he was actually staying sober. In 2013, Baldwin allegedly used racial slurs against a photographer of color, calling him a crackhead and a drug dealer just based on how he looked. The photographer said Baldwin used even worse racial slurs, though Baldwin denied it. This happened during a time when Baldwin admitted he was having anger management issues. In another incident from 2014, Baldwin got into it with a journalist, where witnesses claimed he used racially charged language. Baldwin has this whole history of losing his temper with paparazzi, and several of these blow-ups have involved language that people described as having racial undertones. Then, in 2018, Baldwin was arrested for assault after a parking dispute in New York City with a man of color, where witnesses claimed he used racially charged language during the fight.
My wife's on the phone with her hairdresser or her friend. She's like, really? Okay, I can't wait to see you. That's going to be great. Fantastic. What time? 12 o'clock? My wife is from Spain. And she said, blah, blah, blah. And blah, blah, blah. I don't mean to be racist when I put that accent on there. But
Number 7. Roseanne Barr. Roseanne has talked openly about her struggles with alcohol and substance abuse throughout her career, including times when she mixed alcohol with prescription meds. Her history of racist comments finally caught up with her when she got fired from the Roseanne reboot in 2018 after tweeting that former Obama advisor Valerie Jarrett was like if Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes had a baby, equal JV. This tweet wasn't just a one-time thing. Back in 2013, Barr had tweeted that Susan Rice, who is black and was national security advisor at the time, was a man with big swinging ape balls. Using ape imagery to describe black women shows a pretty clear pattern of racist thinking. Barr also once posted a photo of herself dressed as Hitler removing gingerbread Jews from an oven for a satirical Jewish publication, a joke that many people found deeply offensive rather than funny. She's also promoted conspiracy theories with anti-Semitic origins over the years.
I thought the bitch was white! Damn it! I thought the bitch was white!
Number 8. Andy Dick. Comedian Andy Dick has faced tons of legal issues related to his alcohol and substance abuse, with multiple arrests for being drunk and inappropriate in public. His addiction struggles have been all over the news for decades, with frequent trips to rehab. Throughout his career, Dick has been called out for using racial slurs during comedy shows and in private. In 2011, he had to apologize after repeatedly using the N-word during a comedy set at a Los Angeles club. Audience members were shocked when Dick directed the slur at people in the crowd while visibly wasted on stage. In another incident from 2006, Dick appeared on Comedy Central's roast of William Shatner, where he licked the faces of several attendees and used anti-Semitic language toward presenter Farrah Fawcett. The network had to edit out a bunch of Dick's behavior because it was so offensive.
At what point in your life did everything go wrong?
Doing this fucking interview.
No, it was way before that. Like
Really? How long?
Ago.
Number 9. Gary Oldman. Award-winning actor Gary Oldman has been open about his past alcoholism, describing himself as a functioning alcoholic during the early part of his career. He's been sober since the early 1990s after realizing his drinking was destroying his career and relationships. However, Oldman stirred up major controversy in a 2014 Playboy interview where he defended Mel Gibson's anti-Semitic comments and used language offensive to Jewish people. In the interview, Oldman said, Mel Gibson is in a town that's run by Jews, and he's not a Jew, so he's not going to get a job. He continued by claiming Hollywood was a place where if you didn't vote for Obama, you're a racist, revealing views that many found pretty disturbing. In the same interview, Oldman also defended Alec Baldwin's use of homophobic slurs, suggesting that political correctness has gone too far and that people should take an effing joke and get over it. He suggested Hollywood operated under a double standard regarding offensive language, implying certain groups were more protected than others.
So it sounds like Gary Oldman has apologized for some of the things he said recently about Jewish people in Hollywood. The 56-year-old actor was recently quoted saying that Hollywood is a town run by Jews.
At number 10, Kid Rock, who has never hidden his heavy drinking lifestyle. He's basically built his whole image around it. The musician is often photographed wasted at events and has created this whole brand around being a hard-partying bad boy. Rock has also repeatedly stirred up controversy with racist imagery and statements. He proudly displayed Confederate flags at concerts for years before finally stopping after pressure from civil rights groups. When criticized for using the flag, Rock responded with profanity directed at protesters, basically telling them they were overreacting. In 2019, he was recorded using a homophobic slur while drunk at his own bar in Nashville during a rant about Oprah Winfrey, saying, F Oprah Winfrey, and suggesting she could suck dick sideways. In the same rant, he made gross comments about Joy Behar and Kathy Lee Gifford, too.
Hey, I'm like Oprah Winfrey or Joy Behar. They can sideways.
Number 11. Saturday Night Live's original cast member, Chevy Chase, who has battled alcoholism for decades, going to treatment multiple times throughout his career. In 2016, he checked into the Hazel Den Clinic in Minnesota for an alcohol-related issue, one of his many attempts at recovery. His difficult behavior on sets is legendary in Hollywood, especially during his time on Community. Former cast members and writers from SNL and other shows have accused Chase of making racist jokes and using racial slurs on set. According to SNL colleagues, Chase would often make racist comments to Garrett Morris, the only black cast member during the early seasons. Donald Glover, his Community co-star, has talked about Chase making racist comments to him, allegedly telling Glover, "People think you're funnier because you're black." During filming of Community, Chase reportedly used the N-word during an argument about his character's dialogue, causing production to temporarily shut down.
Chevy Chase reportedly used the N-word after complaining about some of the lines that the show Community had given him. Now, he plays a bigoted character in Community, and his name is Pierce Hawthorne on the show.
Number 12, actor James Woods, known for roles in films like Salvador and Casino, has had periods of heavy drinking throughout his career, though he's been less public about addiction issues than others on this list. Various Hollywood colleagues have described Woods as having problems with alcohol, particularly during the 70s and 80s. In recent years, Woods has become more known for his controversial social media presence, where he's frequently shared racist and xenophobic content. He tweeted an image of distorted racial statistics about black crime that came from white supremacist sources. When called out for sharing fake stats, Woods refused to delete the post. Woods has posted derogatory stuff about Muslim immigrants, promoted white nationalist talking points, and spread racist conspiracy theories about former President Obama's birth certificate. He shared memes depicting Obama as a Muslim and questioned his American citizenship repeatedly. Number 13, actor Vince Vaughn, who has had legal issues related to drinking, including a 2018 DUI arrest, where he was stopped at a sobriety checkpoint in Manhattan Beach, California. During the arrest, Vaughn refused to get out of his vehicle multiple times before finally listening to the officers. While not as openly racist as others on this list, Vaughn stirred controversy when he defended the use of racist language in films during the 2015 interview with British GQ, suggesting that offensive jokes shouldn't be taken seriously. Specifically, he defended using racial slurs in his film The Dilemma, saying freedom of speech and the flow of ideas being blocked concerns me. In the same interview, Vaughn made controversial comments about affirmative action, stating, "I'm not saying we don't have real problems, but having people look for solutions by always looking to government is a real problem." Many people interpreted these comments as dismissing systematic racism.
This gentleman says that I'm not permitted to dine here.
No, you don't understand. He's playing tonight. He's the main event.
I'm sorry, but it is the policy of the restaurants.
These are long-standing traditions, club rules. I'm sure you understand.
Number 14, famous director Oliver Stone, who has been open about his past struggles with alcohol and drug addiction, which were really bad during the 1970s and 1980s. Stone has described drinking heavily while making movies like Platoon and Wall Street, before eventually getting help for his addictions. Stone has gotten criticism for comments that many saw as anti-Semitic, including suggesting that Jewish control of the media prevented honest discussion about Israel. In a 2010 interview with the Sunday Times, Stone complained about Jewish domination of the media and claimed that Israel had effed up United States foreign policy for years. In the same interview, Stone made controversial comments about Hitler and Jewish suffering, saying that the German dictator did more damage to the Russians than to the Jews, and that the focus on the Holocaust was partly due to the Jewish domination of the media. He later apologized for these remarks after major backlash.
Obama is a snake. He's a snake, and we have to turn on him. I know he likes snakes, but...
Number 15, fashion designer John Galliano, whose career completely fell apart in 2011 when video game came out showing him making violently anti-Semitic comments in a Paris cafe, declaring, "I love Hitler," and telling people he thought were Jewish that they should have been gassed. Galliano blamed his alcoholism for the incident, later saying he had no memory of making those comments. This wasn't just a one-time thing. Just a few days earlier, Galliano had been involved in another fight at the same Paris cafe, where he allegedly told a woman, "Dirty Jewish face, you should be dead," and "Effing Asian bard, I will kill you." The woman filed a complaint with Paris police, bringing attention to Galliano's behavior. During the investigation, another incident came to light. A video from 2010 showed Galliano in a similar drunk state, making anti-Semitic comments to another cafe patron, saying, "People like you would be dead. Your mothers, your forefathers would all be effing gassed." This showed a pattern of anti-Semitic outbursts when Galliano was drinking.
I love Hitler. People like you would be dead today. Your mothers, your forefathers would be gassed.
Oh my god. Do you have a problem?
At number 16, TV personality and motorcycle customizer Jesse James, who was married to Sandra Bullock and has had documented issues with alcohol throughout his career. In his 2011 memoirs, American Outlaw, James admitted to struggling with alcoholism and substance abuse. His racism became public when photos came out showing him giving a Nazi salute while wearing a German Nazi officer's cap. Another damaging photo showed James posing while holding his fingers to his upper lip in what looked like an imitation of Hitler's mustache. These weren't costume party photos, but seemed to be taken during casual hangouts with friends. In 2010, US Weekly published an interview with a former employee of James who claimed he regularly used racial slurs at work and created a hostile environment for people of color. The employee, who filed a harassment lawsuit, alleged that James would frequently use the N-word when referring to black people and made derogatory comments about Hispanic employees. Next, number 17, NFL player Richie Incognito, who has struggled with alcoholism throughout his career, entering treatment facilities multiple times. In 2018, he was placed on an involuntary psychiatric hold after an incident at a gym where he appeared to be under the influence and acting erratically. His racist behavior became national news during the Miami Dolphins bullying scandal, where investigation showed he had repeatedly used racial slurs against teammate Jonathan Martin. Text messages revealed Incognito routinely used the N-word and other racist language. The NFL's investigation found that Incognito's racism went beyond just Martin. He would allegedly mock an Asian American assistant trainer by using a fake Asian accent and making racist comments about his heritage. During a team golf outing, Incognito allegedly harassed a volunteer of color, touching her with his golf club and making lewd comments with racial undertones.
I'm Richie Incognito. On the field, players have called me overly aggressive. While off the field and on the croquet lawn, I'm quite civilized.
At number 18, Culture Club singer Boy George, who has had well-documented struggles with alcohol and substance abuse throughout his career, with multiple arrests and stints in rehab. In 2006, he was sentenced to community service in New York after police found cocaine in his apartment during a call for a suspected burglary. In 2007, he was convicted of falsely impersonating a male escort, during which he allegedly used racial slurs. The victim, who was Norwegian with Moroccan ancestry, reported that George used racist language while threatening him. During the trial, it came out that George had restrained the man with handcuffs while in an agitated state that seemed related to substance abuse. Earlier in his career, former Culture Club bandmate John Moss claimed George would frequently use racist language during arguments when he was drunk. In a 1986 television interview, George appeared to mock a Japanese interviewer's accent, causing controversy that he later dismissed as just humor rather than racism.
I'm a chameleon. You come and go. You come and go.
Number 19, Riley Cooper, former Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver, whose career took a major hit after a video surfaced of him using the N-word during a Kenny Chesney concert in 2013. Cooper, clearly wasted in the video, threatened violence against black security guards using racial slurs, saying, "I will jump that fence and fight every N-word here." This wasn't Cooper's only racist incident. Former teammates later revealed that Cooper had made racially insensitive comments in the locker room multiple times, creating tension within the team. LaShawn McCoy, a former teammate, said after the video came out that he could never look at Cooper the same, and that the incident showed Cooper's true character. In 2015, during a game against Washington, Cooper was caught on microphone making a derogatory comment about a Hispanic player, using stereotypical language. While this comment didn't get as much attention as his previous incident, it showed a pattern of racist language.
I will jump that fence and fight every
At number 20, the late wrestling legend Hulk Hogan, who has talked about periods of heavy drinking during his career, especially during his divorce and personal problems. In his autobiography, Hogan described turning to alcohol during personal crises, including when his marriage was falling apart. In 2015, a recording came out of Hogan going on a racist tirade, repeatedly using the N-word and expressing anger about his daughter dating a black man. In the tape, Hogan said, I'd rather if she was going to F some N-word. I'd rather have her married an 8-foot-tall N-word worth $100 million like a basketball player. More recordings later emerged showing that Hogan's use of racist language wasn't just a one-time thing. In other parts of the same recording, Hogan used racial slurs when talking about a black producer who had offered to finance his daughter's music career. He referred to himself as racist to a point and used the N-word multiple times when discussing various black individuals.
I'm not a racist. I never should have said what I said. It was wrong. I'm embarrassed by it.
Next, number 21, reality TV personality Tila Tequila, who struggled with alcohol and substance abuse throughout her public life, with multiple incidences suggesting serious addiction issues. In 2012, she entered rehab following a reported suicide attempt that friends said was related to substance abuse. Her racist views became undeniable when she posted images of herself giving Nazi salutes and wearing a swastika armband. Tequila captioned these images with pro-Hitler statements and anti-Semitic rhetoric. She followed these posts with a blog titled, "Why I Sympathize with Hitler," outlining various anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. In 2016, Tequila attended a white nationalist conference in Washington, D.C., where she was photographed giving Nazi salutes with Richard Spencer and other prominent white supremacists. The photo, which she proudly shared on social media, showed her fully embracing white nationalist ideology.
After Tila Tequila said Jennifer Lopez was just a Mexican with money, her Twitter account seems to have vanished. The comment about Lopez comes on the heels of the former MTV star's racist comments about illegal immigrants.
Number 22, Vaughn Dutch, fashion brand co-founder Mike Castle, who helped make the Vaughn Dutch fashion brand popular in the early 2000s, struggled with alcoholism throughout his life, according to the documentary The Curse of Vaughn Dutch. Former colleagues described Castle as frequently drunk during business meetings and social events, with alcohol making his already volatile personality even worse. Former colleagues revealed that Castle frequently used racist language and expressed white supremacist views, particularly when drinking. According to the documentary, Castle would use racial slurs when referring to potential business partners of color and would make anti-Semitic remarks during business meetings. Tony Sorensen, the former CEO of Vaughn Dutch, claimed in interviews that Castle would frequently go on racist tirades when drunk, embarrassing the company at industry events. Sorensen said that Castle's behavior became increasingly problematic as the brand got more successful. Number 23. Legendary comedian and Richard Pryor writer Paul Mooney, who battled with alcoholism for parts of his career, with former colleagues like actor John Witherspoon noting that Mooney would often drink heavily before performances, especially in his later years. While known for his sharp commentary on race in America, Mooney frequently crossed into controversial territory with comments seen as racist toward various groups. During a 2006 performance at the Apollo Theater, Mooney used a racial slur to describe a white audience member, causing major controversy and leading to him being temporarily banned from the venue. In a 2013 performance in Hollywood, an apparently drunk Mooney went on a tirade against white audience members, using language that many felt crossed the line from comedy into genuine racial hostility. Audience members walked out of the show, describing Mooney as seeming disoriented and fixated on racial grievances rather than humor.
About how racist you are.
That I'm racist? Well, that's very funny. I can't be racist by definition. Look that up in the white folks dictionary. How can I be racist? I've never told anyone where to live. I've never told anyone what kind of jobs to have. I've never kept anyone from going to a school, out of a restaurant, or drinking from a fountain. I've never lynched anybody. So how can I be racist?
Next, we have David Hasselhoff at number 24, whose battle with alcoholism became public knowledge when his daughter released a video of him drunk in 2007, leading him to seek treatment. The actor has had several relapses and has been open about his ongoing struggle with alcohol addiction. While less known for racist incidences than others on this list, Hasselhoff created controversy when performing in Austria in 2008, appearing to mock Asian people with stereotypical gestures and accents. During the performance, Hasselhoff pulled at the corners of his eyes and spoke in a mocking accent that many found deeply offensive. During a 2006 appearance on America's Got Talent, Hasselhoff made comments about a contestant of Indian descent that many viewed as racially insensitive, implying that the contestant's accent was exaggerated for comedic effect. He has also been criticized for dismissive comments about racial issues in entertainment, once stating in an interview that complaints about diversity were overblown and that people should lighten up.
So Dad, you need to promise me you're not going to get alcohol tonight, okay?
What?
You need to promise me you're not going to get alcohol tonight.
Why?
Okay?
Oh.
Because if you get alcohol tonight, you're fired from your show tomorrow.
And number 25, Robert Ebert, legendary film critic, openly discussed his alcoholism, getting sober in 1979 and staying sober for the rest of his life. Ebert attended Alcoholics Anonymous meetings regularly and said the program saved his life. Early in his career, Ebert wrote the screenplay for the controversial exploitation film Beyond the Valley of the Dolls, which included racist stereotypes common in that era of filmmaking. The film featured stereotypical portrayals of black characters that would be considered clearly racist by today's standards, including scenes where black characters were portrayed as violent and hypersexual. In his early writing career, Ebert occasionally used language in reviews that would now be considered racially insensitive. In a 1973 review, he used terminology to describe Asian characters that would be unacceptable today. In several reviews from the 1970s, he used dated racial terminology when discussing films with black casts.
I will always give thumbs up. And I quote, I hated this movie. Hated this movie.
Drop a comment letting us know which celebrity story surprised you the most or who you think deserves a second chance after all this. Don't forget to subscribe for more unfiltered looks at Hollywood's hidden realities and hit that notification bell so you never miss our next reveal.